While many pioneers to the area cite reasons such as military service or job opportunities for coming to Alaska, L.B. and Shirley Mauldin cite their primary reason for relocation as a wild hare. On May 18, 1956, L.B. and Shirley arrived from Fairfield, California, having trekked the Alaska Highway in a 1956 Studebaker 1-ton, pulling an 8-by-35-foot trailer house. Although the original plan was somewhat different, this trailer was to be their home for the next 7 years. Although many early settlers consisted of husbands checking out the last frontier and sending for the wives and children later, L.B. and Shirley may have had a better idea, in that they left the children and brought the dog. They confessed to having had stars in their eyes and dreams of establishing a large homestead and raising cattle. Upon their arrival in Anchorage, they quickly realized that their dream was impractical, so they revised their dream and decided to stay anyway. They did eventually send for their children, and Randall, Leslie, Mary, and Barton arrived that first summer. L.B.'s dream of being a cattle baron in Alaska was reduced in scale somewhat as he signed on as a rough carpenter that first summer. That job was short-lived, and he landed a civil service job on Fort Richardson, where he worked until his retirement in 1978. The family purchased a plot of land in Eagle River adjacent to military property and moved the trailer house onto it on the 4th of July, 1957. All 6 of them lived quite cozily there until the house they were constructing was deemed livable. Oldest daughter Leslie provides an idea of just how cozy their trailer life was. She became very indignant and unhappy when it was time to take a bath in their spacious new home, and she realized that she could no longer sit in the bathtub and watch TV in the living room. According to Shirley, spacious was a very appropriate word for those early days in their new home. She says that it was quite some time before you could no longer walk through the 2-by-4 walls to get from one room to another. As with any other family struggling to begin life in a new frontier, L.B. and Shirley did many things the hard way. They hauled water for 2.5 years while they toiled away at a hand-dug well that ultimately was 75 feet deep. Shirley and the kids operated a bucket line up on top, while L.B. dug in the hole and sent dirt up on the end of a rope, bucket by bucket. Sadly, in spite of all the effort, the well never yielded much in the way of usable water, and they finally had Sam Cotton drill a well. Meanwhile, work on the house continued, and while Phyllis Smith claims to have wielded a mean axe, Shirley Mauldin claims to have poured some of the best concrete around. L.B. also put in his days at a civil service job and came home to put in extra hours clearing the home site and constructing a house. Everyone pitched in where they could, but it was many years before their home neared completion. L.B.'s table saw resided in the living room for many years, and though the children have grown and gone, and grandchildren and great-grandchildren come to visit, L.B. and Shirley claim that it still isn't finished today, although the table saw is no longer there. Shirley was responsible for publication of the Eagle, a small weekly newspaper that was circulated throughout Chugiak and Eagle River from 1959 to 1963. The publication of this newspaper was an effort to generate funding for a new fire engine. Shirley got paid the whopping sum of $10 per month, and the Eagle River Improvement Association got the rest of the profit. When the engine was finally paid for, Shirley inherited the printing press, also known as a mimeograph machine, for her efforts. In 1968, she began a sign painting business at home. Some of her handiwork can still be seen on buildings and signposts throughout Eagle River and Chugiak today.